Hey, Inebri-ites, before we jump into today's podcast, I just want to thank today's sponsor. Airship Notebooks has been a long-time supporter of both the Inebri-art podcast and our figure drawing event located in downtown Plymouth. So we want to say thank you to Airship Notebooks. They supply sketchbooks for the attendees to our events and some of their fine liners. They're amazing, so we get to use their product, and we all love it. And, even when they're not our sponsor, we seek out their sketchbooks. And Airship seeks to provide creative tools to artists, writers, and other creative-minded individuals to help inspire them to be more creative and productive. If you need to be more creative and productive, run over to airship.store and check out what they have to offer. They have a selection of sketchbooks, notebooks, and fine liners. You can find everything you need to get your creative juices flowing there. And again, thank you to Airship Notebooks for continuing to support Inebri-art in both online and in real world. And let's get into that podcast.
How many kids do you have?
2.
How's that?
That's great.
Oh, good.
No, they're seriously fantastic. My son is 14, and he is getting into music. He plays saxophone.
Sweet.
And he is like the sweetest. Like, girls are gonna destroy him.
Oh,
He's
that's
just
awesome.
So sweet.
I'll take that in his music.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
My daughter is 12, and we just had our first art show beginning of October, and she hung the art show. So basically, people dropping off their art, they're like, "So what are the awards going to be?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're having this, we're having that, blah blah blah," and we're having a honorable mention, and it's my daughter.
Oh,
But she came in second in People's Choice here. Waiting on you, Fish.
We're recording, so yeah.
What?
You can be
What?
like, hey, we're recording.
This is what we
We
do.
got real serious and then we just started to record.
All right, so we are here at New World Tavern. This is already laughing.
Grade A. Grade
Wow.
A said this.
So our normal recording studio has been flooded, so we're here. And we're here with Alessandra Grima, thank you, who just modeled at our live drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
It was awesome.
We got amazing feedback already.
I'm so excited. I'm so glad.
Already. So we definitely have to have you back.
Oh, awesome.
Wait, tears.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I
I had no idea what to expect, so it was really cool.
Well, I'm glad you had the time. But the reason why I wanted to get you on the podcast is because when we first contacted each other, we became friends.
I mean,
So it's legitimate.
acquaintances?
We're friends. So
It says that on
Yeah,
Facebook?
on Facebook, we're friends.
Okay, yep.
It said that you're a stand-up comedian.
That is
and
correct.
I was like zeroed in automatically.
You're fawning.
Yes, I'm a big fan of comedians.
Cool.
And you told me you have been doing this now for 7 years.
Going on 7.
Going
on
on
7, yeah.
So how on earth did you become a model / comedian? That is a weird.
Great question.
It is a weird
I don't think
combo.
anyone's ever actually asked me that.
Well, that's
Okay.
What else did you get?
Well, I always wanted to be a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Always. My aunt was a comedian growing up. She lived on the other side of the country, but it's still that I was obsessed.
Is she I don't know.
Well, she passed away, but she did work with
No, but I mean, like,
Paul and
so
John Williams.
what's her?
Her stage name was Blackie.
Blackie.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I don't know.
All right.
She was much, much older, so I never actually got to talk to her much
Okay.
about it because she was never around.
Yeah.
Because she passed away like 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I always loved comedy since I was really, really little. I wanted to be on SNL. I would be in kindergarten and do little shows on top of the coffee table. I don't think anyone paid attention to me, but
So are you like?
but still did it.
Now you do stand up, but are you into sketch comedy? Do you do that?
I have a bachelor's in film and I wrote skits all 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of like script queen. Everybody would give me their scripts and I'd fix them.
So why do you hate Katie so much?
Okay.
For our listeners, I was like, oh, so she does stand up. I should see if she has stuff on YouTube. And I looked up YouTube, and it's like, I hate Katie.
Okay.
So who's Katie, and why do you hate her so much?
Katie. Okay. Well, as the joke said, I mean, I am a white girl. Let's just make that clear. But then there's like me, and then there's the sect of Katie white girls, and I call them all Katie because it's like 90% chance that's their name. It actually happened today. I was correct. This girl came into my work with
I was going to say, we don't have a Katie.
Not here.
No.
But I was at work before this, and a girl came in, she's skinny and blonde, and had Uggs on, and asked what Victoria's Secret was. And I was like, oh, what's her name?
Oh my
and she was Katie.
Yeah.
And I can just guess, and it happened. So it's not that I hate them.
You just really
I think I just can't relate. And I don't know if it's because the ones I meet are dumb, or if it's just because inside growing up, that was the girl that I hated, because that's the girl that was what everybody liked.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just that.
Do you feel there's like a difference between a Kate and a Katie? Because we do have a Kate here tonight, and Kate is not Katie. You know
I guarantee you they're the same.
No, I guarantee you they're not.
There has to be a part of her.
Bet you $1 million.
Did she spell it with like a C instead of a K?
No, it's a K.
I will find it.
I don't think there is a I get the whole Katie thing, but there's no Katie in Kate.
Okay, well, you can't challenge me and then she's not here.
Well, that's true, but we're going to have you back. So next time I will introduce you.
Oh, that'd be great.
And we'll record you being like, yeah, you're right, there's no Katie in Kate.
So yeah, everybody loves it. My Katie joke is probably one that everybody loves that joke.
Yeah.
I usually don't gloat, but everybody loves that one.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows one.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Everybody knows one.
Yeah. So, when I was, stalking you on YouTube.
There's some old crap on there.
It might have been. I don't know the date. But you did a performance in New York, so you've been kind of around.
But yeah.
Where's your favorite place?
It would have to be the Comedy Connection room of Ireland.
Yeah.
Just because it's home, I love the room in general. It's very small. It's
do you
very
feel like
personal.
because it is home, you can relate to them easier?
Maybe. Sometimes I'll do a local joke, but that's not most of my jokes.
But you call them use guys?
Use guys. I would never say use guys. Oh my god. No, I'm definitely a grammar Nazi. But I actually have a terrible accent that I hide. But I definitely sound like a Rhode Islander. Like if I'm around my sister. It's hideous. But I love that room because it's very intimate. It's not too big, and everybody's very close to the stage. And I've never bombed there once.
Yeah. So since we started the podcast, I've been really listening to podcasts, see how other people do it, and every meeting has a podcast. And so things I've learned is they like rooms with low ceilings and kind of
intimate. Yes.
So you like intimate rooms. What is the biggest audience you?
Oh God! Maybe 200. Like a banquet, those private shows. Yeah, probably.
And do you do shows a lot, or is it something that you do periodically?
It shifts. Like all summer, I did modeling.
Yeah.
So, and then when the fall came, I said, I'm not doing a show until I write 5 new minutes, and I think I just did, just now.
Just now, we're sitting here and be like,
this second,
guy looks like he owns a comic.
No, I have.
I think if I had a joke written about me, I would think that's all.
I think you write it yourself without speaking.
Wait, what? You feel like that was a shot at me?
No. No, I'm ready to get back to it. I used to do 4 shows a week, maybe, and work 2 jobs. And, I don't know how I did it sometimes, but.
Well, the comedy has got to be more like of a passion.
Oh God, yeah. Comedy, if it's not a passion, you're gonna kill yourself or just quit immediately.
Yeah.
It gets very political, and I try to stay out of it.
Political?
Oh
How
yeah.
So?
Oh,
as in who gets the good times?
It's even worse than that. It's cliques. I like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. It's hard enough being a female. I only choose sides.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's a whole other topic. Being a girl in 2016.
Well, it's very true because I've heard people say, don't punch me, it's just repeating what I've heard. People say that female comedians aren't as funny.
It's funny. Multiple ways to attack that. So, there's out of all comedians, only 8% of them are female. There is a documentary about it. I don't remember the exact number, but I'm telling you it's around 8 or 10.
Wow.
So for every 50 guys that go up there, there's probably 1 chick.
So
she bombs, all women suck.
Right. So it's like you can have like 10 guys bomb, and there's still be.
By the way, many shows 10 guys do bomb, and nobody says male comedians suck.
Right, because they still look at who succeeded, and they look at the 40 guys just because it's a number.
Right.
Yeah.
I asked a good friend of mine. I'm not going to name names, but I asked a good friend of mine. No, because he's wonderful. Yeah. I don't think he knows what he said. But he puts on a variety show. Yeah. And I was like, hey, like, when are you going to have all the girl show, all girl show? Yeah. And he said, it's a variety show. And I'm like, really? Because the last 10 shows were all male. So what does that have to do with it? You know? And, he didn't really, he was like, I didn't mean it that way. Well, and I'm like, not one female comedian in Rhode Island is the same. Yeah. We are all so different. It blows my mind. Like, we have girls that are really quiet. We have girls that tell jokes like molasses. There's me who's like loud and insane. I mean, we're nothing alike. That is variety, but that's what a booker tells me. Yeah. No, it has to be a variety show. It can't have all females.
They actually did a female comedy show just down the street here at Plymouth Memorial Hall.
Oh, awesome! I've been on them.
Yeah. And it's funny because the first stand-up comedian that I personally have met is you've heard of Christine Hurley.
No, I don't think so. I've already seen her.
Yeah, she's kind of a local person. She's done like on the Dennis Reeves.
Oh, nice.
From home.
There's so many.
But like, we knew her when she waited table on Fridays and would like make fun of us there. So,
not surprised.
Yes. Wow, you're really mean.
I told you.
Feeling.
Every comedian is mean.
Yeah, no, I get from
He likes it.
A little bit.
I got sidetracked, but. They're very angry about the thing. I mean, the first contest I ever did, the judge told me, you won't win because you're a girl.
Oh, was it like an open mic kind of?
No, it was like a Twin River contest.
Oh, the casino?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, that's like, that
drunken gamblers. How could,
that one's gone now. Yeah. It was actually run pretty terribly. But it is a catch a rising star competition. Yeah. And the judge told me that. And, one of the guy that ran it, he gives feedback to every comedian that night. Yeah. Personally.
Was it like legitimate feedback or what?
He gave it to another comedian to tell me, but everybody else got face to face with him.
Wow, that's pretty shitty.
Yeah. That's one of my first year.
And
yeah.
I feel like in any creative field that it's almost like you have, if you get to that point where like you make it automatically, you're not going to last. It's the people who kind of have to work, grind it out and work.
I remember
deal with bullshit like that.
Yeah.
To kind of be like
you
build up a thick skin.
Yeah. I didn't give a shit. I think I'm lucky because I recognize that. A lot of people get defeated and never want to do comedy again. I was like, that's a fat, miserable guy. Like that's
right. Yeah. and it's funny because we were literally just talking about this, how our whole life drawing group came out of me being kind of irritated and defiant because we tried to, let's say, worldwide life drawing group that I tried to open a branch for, and they told me no. So I spent about a day being like, oh, poor me, and I'm like, you know what, fuck those guys.
Right.
And we started our own, and we had 25 people.
Exactly.
So it was such a, not only did we have 25 people, we had 25 branches.
Oh, that was great. Everybody was absolutely fantastic.
So glad you got to experience that. So tell me about hecklers.
Okay. Well, I've done improv since I was 8.
I don't do, I would never ever, in a million, I don't understand why someone would heckle.
There's 2 reasons. I'm going to tell you right now. There are 2 reasons people heckle. A, they're drunk. B, they think they're funnier. That's it.
I can see A. I could
drunk. But no, these people really think that they're so much funnier that they have to say this out loud.
Yeah. But it amazes me how well stand-ups do.
Yes. Me personally, I have very few, because my presence on stage in general is shut up, because I'm in charge now. So that's my presence off the bat. So for someone to heckle me, that's very brave. I've done improv since I was 8. If you want to heckle me, let's bring it on. For 20 years. Right. So, if anything, I'm ready. I love the challenge. Not many people heckle me. Yeah. I shut them up very fast. I think every comedian should do improv.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things, it's you're the guy with, first of all, you have a microphone. So I'm automatically louder.
I'm louder. Yeah. It's no contest.
And it's you're a funny professional. I don't know how you can compete
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some time in history of heckler was funny.
Yeah.
Right? I mean...
But I would like to think the comedian would be like, oh shit, that was
But even if,
shit, that was funny.
even if he was funny, it's like you're still an asshole for doing
Right,
that.
yeah.
So
I've never understood that, and like it just doesn't.
people think they're funnier.
Uh,
You've never been.
honestly,
You've never been to a comedy show.
I've been to a comedy show once.
You've never heard someone go, "I'm funnier than this guy."
No.
I don't know why they talk like that.
No, I got oddly enough, like I got outed, not outed, like everybody. Out is not the right term. Like everybody. All right, so here's the story because I don't know how to.
Your sentences are on point today.
Shut up.
So
First of all, I'm a professional podcaster. I've been doing this 12 times? 12 times?
12 times! More times than sex.
So I've been doing this 12
So proud
times.
of you.
And,
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's great.
It comes out.
It's strangely enough, I went to a very early show that had Dane Cook.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like,
How was that?
He was pretty funny at the time,
Cool.
honestly.
I mean, I feel
And
like...
strangely enough, my cousin went to school with him.
Okay.
Wow,
you're famous now. Great
no,
cred.
Not really.
I'm the worst.
We can edit without being mean. We can do that. No. All right.
Well-
So at the time, I had this really sweet car.
And please tell me what sweet car
It was
is.
a gray 1984 Ford Escort,
Oh, okay. Ballin'.
and it was fairly new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who's hosting the night was up there just talking about how he had an X-ray of his pelvis, and he was in the emergency room in the hallway, and they put up his X-ray, and that it showed his penis. And he's like, I'm not saying I'm a small one, but bragging about my penis is like bragging about having a Ford Escort. And like everyone at the table looks at me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what? This has nothing to do with me. Like,
But it does.
somehow it did.
I mean, you bragged about it literally 5 seconds ago.
I didn't brag.
You kind of did. You said, I had a sweet car at the time. That's
there was
bragging.
sarcasm.
Is that what that
They
was?
didn't taught you sarcasm in comedy school?
Have they taught you sarcasm? Comedy
You
school!
didn't go to comedy school?
Oh, I hate when people are like,
You don't have a degree in comedy?
no.
Wow. No, you have like a bachelor's in
I
laughs.
hate when people go like, oh, is there a class where I can start? I mean,
Really? People ask that?
there are classes, first of all, but I mean, I know people that have gone to classes. That's fine if that helps you get out of your box. Get out of your box. Get out of your box.
Yeah.
But like people ask me, and I'm just like, why would you? Like, that's just you.
Like, I
it's
feel
like putting your toe in the water. It's like go do the fucking open mic. Can I
Right.
swear?
No.
I can't swear.
You can't fucking swear.
Oh.
I've been swearing like all night.
I don't know. So it's like go get your ass on stage and do the fucking open mic. Like if you're too scared to do the open mic, then don't do comedy. Like I don't understand. You just do class and then they'll make you perform at the end. Like
Well, it's like
what?
one of those things. Like if you do the open mic and you do terrible, then we try to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my first like epiphany. I did my first open mic. It was like 4 minutes.
That's a big work for me. Alright, actually, never mind. I'm
Too
looking
bad
back away from you.
they can't see the Italian stare.
I feel like I gotta give you some shit back.
It was weak. It was weak.
Sorry, I know. Whatever.
But anyway, I remember I did 4 minutes. I talked so fast, as I'm sure I talk fast all the time.
Yeah.
You're probably noticing right now.
We're
Without
gonna
caffeine.
slow you down.
Without
here.
caffeine.
Like, band.
I'll sound southern. But I did my 4 minutes, and then Brian Bowden, who's like been in Rhode Island comedy forever and ever, he was like, "Oh yeah, like you gonna come back next week?" I'm like, "I don't have any more material," and he's like, "No, you do the same thing," and that blew my mind. Like I didn't even think that was a
So
thing.
to me, that's amazing because I've heard like. I mean, there's people like Louis C.K. that like they do their special and then they throw that shit away.
Mm-hmm.
But then you hear like
He repeats things.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
once he hits that special, it kind of like dumps it.
Yeah.
Kinda. But like, how do you make a joke seem fresh and funny every single time you know it? Because I feel like the only experience I've had with this is when my kids learned first what funny is.
Mm-hmm. That's what must have been a while after they was learned.
It was. They're being born wasn't funny at all. Why would it be funny?
Well, I was just saying, like, where are they going to learn funny from?
From abusing their dad. You should know about that because you did the same thing.
Yeah. Probably.
And I will tell you a very funny story after that. But like, you know what? No, trust me, my daughter is funny.
You're playing it up? Oh yeah.
She's
A
funny.
28-year-old woman without kids. Tell me the daughter story.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'm
will.
real excited.
It's being mean to her dad. You'll love it.
Oh, I'm just
But like, you get those kids, like when your kids are little and they first learn about funny, it's like they get relaxed and they keep doing it. Like, how do you keep that fresh?
Well, like, to me, every audience is different, and there's a different energy with each audience, me personally. Especially, like, the same joke, you still ad-lib, you still improv, because there's different people, or at least that's what I do. Some people literally, like, verbatim spit things out. That's it. But when I get tired of a joke, then I don't want to tell it anymore. And that's it. That's it. It'll go away. Maybe it'll come back later.
Do people do that? Oh, you're a comedian, tell me a joke.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
It's
Tell
annoying
me a
as
joke.
shit. I'm obviously not going to tell you
You're
a
not
joke.
going to tell me a joke?
No.
No knock knocks?
No, not nice. Jesus Christ.
So, alright,
Okay,
now
yeah.
the funny daughter story.
Oh, we're all waiting.
Alright, so actually Fish was driving the car. I was actually thinking it was from back.
Wait, hold on. 1 second. Fish, is this funny?
He laughed so hard he almost crashed the car.
He looks like he'd laugh at anything.
No.
Right.
So, now, the preference to the story that we know is
A preface. Preference.
Whatever.
Okay.
Don't, no.
Use guys.
You guys. My kids call their grandmother on the other side, my ex's side, Mingo.
Sure. The
Whatever.
Mingo is your
need-
baby.
You just need to know that.
Okay.
So we're driving the car. We're talking about my son getting older. And I said to my son, in a couple of years you'll be able to grow your own beard. And my daughter pipes up, didn't he tell you? And I'm like, tell me what? Mingo found a hair growing out of his chin and she pulled it out. And I'm like, buddy, don't let her do that. And he's like, why? I'm like, ladies like the facial hair. And my daughter, without missing a beat, then why are you so lonely?
Oh.
This
Ouch.
asshole is laughing so hard he
Ouch.
wants to crack the car. Yeah, right?
Wow.
Me.
Well, did you answer her?
No, 'cause
Why
the
are you so lonely?
The only answer I had was fuck you, and I can't say that to my daughter.
Well, she
why are
listens,
you
so-
Really funny. I'm not lonely
Right.
all the time. It's different, but I'm not now. What is this, psychotherapy?
Right. I was
Do I
trying
have to pay you at the end of the hour?
I was trying to get you turned around there. You got me.
So, alright. So, when I was a kid.
Wow, that was riveting. Your daughter's smart.
She is super smart and mean.
Well, it's, like I said, I think they don't get it.
They can be. Yeah.
It'd be quick to be mean.
So, we learned that you're mean
Mm-hmm.
and that you like to ridicule people.
Right.
So, how did you feel that, like, at what, were you always, like, I want to do this on stage and be mean to people, or were you,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you just like,
I always wanted to be on stage. I always wanted to be on
so
stage.
were you the class clown?
Yes, I was class clown.
And bully?
Well, it's funny you say that. Like, I was actually picked on most of my life until high school. High school, I was like, oh, she's the funny one. We get it now.
Well, it's funny, because I was just talking about that the other day, that, like, I feel like high school is where people find their people. Does that make sense?
Maybe.
You know,
yeah,
you kind
maybe.
of find
It's the awkwardness is over.
like-minded, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, elementary school, middle school was not fun for me. I looked like this. I had, I was already this tall. I had a D cup, and I was fat, and I was huge compared to everybody else. It was terrible. I was a freak of nature.
So, I don't know.
My growing was done,
Yeah.
at 4th grade.
What, fourth?
Yeah, I was
Wow.
I was done. I was this tall, and that's it. Here I am.
So, at what point did you decide I'm gonna model?
Yeah, so
Because that's the weird, like,
oh, that's a very okay. There's a lot of okay. So obviously, I grew up with absolutely no self-esteem. Literally, my mother's side's very thin. My father's side's very big.
Mhm.
So, and my mother's from Rome, just a little rough.
okay.
So my whole life, I was literally told, you would be pretty if you lost weight. Like, I would have meals taken away from me. I was sent to fat camp. And I would never lose weight. I did soccer my whole life until 25, and I'm still the same weight.
Yeah.
So what does that do to a girl who's starting to hear this at 10, 11 years old?
Horrible.
So that was not fun. And I don't know what clicked. When I was about 22, I started my Instagram. I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but
I have not.
most of my following is on my Instagram. So, and I found all the plus models and I followed them. So every day I would see plus models, which, and after a while I'm like, these girls don't look that much different from me.
Yeah.
And at the time, I also do acting on the side, so I needed to do headshots. And my boyfriend at the time, he minored in photography, so he took my headshots, and they like looked really good. And I was like, oh my god, I don't look that bad in these photos.
Wow, that's self-esteem for you. I'm gonna make fun of the guy with the beard.
Right.
I don't look that bad.
I mean, this story isn't that different from a lot of women. So, and those two things happened at the same time. So I started doing photos for fun. So like themed photos, or I'd have a silly outfit or something, whatever, a theme. And I started a model mayhem page, and 3 clothing lines found me. I modeled for 3 clothing lines. It's very weird. It happened very fast. I'm only 5'3", and I walk runway. It's unheard of.
Well, this is one of those because I get asked a lot. We have a lot of people who come to the live drawing and they're like, I want this, I want that. Mm-hmm. And we get a lot of, I want someone with curves. Mm-hmm. And when you messaged me, you were recommended by some of our former models. I was very happy because it's strange because what I have trouble finding is male models and plus size models.
I mean, I know a billion.
Yeah, a billion, really, a billion. I think you might be over.
I know
the market is when you get to I'm a model and it's a different but you get the Katie's.
Right, they think they're a model.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're pretty.
Yes.
People don't realize how much goes into posing. I don't think people realize, like, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything.
We love our models. We have a very good. We've been very, very, very lucky with our models. Good. Especially in the beginning because we were kind of like, hey, you want a model? All right. So one of us may have gotten really drunk one night and told some beer girl that was like, we need models. And
yeah, that must have been me.
And walked away. And I was like, well, that's easy.
A little bit. Well, like, my best friend Derek wanted to get into modeling, so he went with me on a shoot. Actually, with the models that we both know.
Oh, yeah.
And
we can plug them because they're great. So, Robin Driscoll and Dan.
Was here? Who's here?
Yes, yeah.
Dan's great. He's a sweetheart. They're both great.
He just won some.
Yeah, he's a
bodybuilding competition.
He told me, he's like, in October I'm going to be all buff and big. He was right. So Derek came, and he watched me in my element, I guess, and then Derek would try it, and like, you need a direction. Like, you don't just, you're not just pretty and you stand in front of a camera. Like, if I'm leaning on my arm for a photo, my weight isn't really on my arm.
On your arm, right?
Yeah.
And so we've had some models who are beginners, and like, we're totally cool with them, and we work with them, and be like, hey, do something with your arms. By your side.
Well, the best thing to do would be to tell them.
Right.
Yeah.
But we've been really lucky, but we have had some really interesting.
Can you tell me, like, the worst one? Don't be too. I don't want to put anyone on blast. But
so I'll probably tell you if I haven't already told you. Maybe I told you earlier.
I don't know.
Maybe not. So I'm talking, and you clearly don't listen to what I have to say. Because you're just like, how can I insult him next?
Right, Mike. What are we, like 8 mics here tonight? I don't know.
So that's why fish is fish.
Is your name Mike? Dude, I'm right every time.
So I went to this goes way back. I went to the movies. I was at work the next day. I'm like, I went to the movies with Sherpa, EMT Mike, Sousa, and Fish. And my friend's like, what are you, 12?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I went to the movies with Mike, and Mike. Like, I'm like, they're all Mike. I don't know what to tell you.
Sounds like a frat.
Yeah, so everybody gets it.
Was that the story?
That's pretty much the story.
That's the worst model story?
No, that was the worst model.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you telling me?
No, I don't want to tell you the worst model story because it's fairly recent. And
okay.
So
it was tonight.
I will tell you off the mic.
Okay.
No, it wasn't tonight.
Good.
No. We had many requests to have you that. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
We'll book the day before you.
What was I going to say? Oh, so yeah, it kind of snowballed. I'll just finish my modeling.
Okay.
So it snowballed.
No, more.
Yeah, well, I like to talk about myself. So, who would have guessed? I never get to it either.
You're so great.
I mean, I work a full-time job, so I don't get to talk about myself as much as I want. So I'm just going to look this.
This is what it's for.
So
no, don't pick up the mic.
I'm not. That's a very big no-no. So I started posting those things on Instagram, I did have people started booking me. I did have photo shoots and I did walk runway. I walked LA Fashion Week as a 5'3" plus model who is not an hourglass. It is absolutely impossible, or so you would think. So from there, I realized I am paving a way in my own little way, something here, and that's when my Instagram blew up in a local sense. I get recognized locally all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So now I'm at the part where I get hired to be a public figure almost. I was asked to go to Boston Kirby Fashion Week to speak.
Oh, wow.
Torrid sent me to New York and LA to post their model search.
Oh, really? That's
so,
cool.
I'm at this weird, it could be something big area. So, literally, I hated myself.
Someday I'll be able to be I remember that girl, she used to insult me.
So, so my life has taken a very model turn.
That's cool, though.
But, balancing comedy and modeling is not easy, but, I love both of them, but comedy has always been my first love.
So, would you want to do, back in, I feel it's a very 80s, 90s thing, but, would you want to do, a sitcom kind of thing, or?
I would like anything. First of all, I think any comedian would say that. I'll take anything.
Yeah.
My dream my whole life would be SNL, but I'd love to do a sitcom. I'd love to be in a movie, or it would be. I'm always doing so many things. I'm such a Gemini.
Oh my god! I don't know what that means. What? Even if I love SNL, but I would want to do all the other stuff too because that's just how I am. So who inspired you to get a comp? Well, I know you said your aunt.
It is my aunt.
But was there other recognizable comedians that you? I always.
Mike Myers.
Really?
A lot. Well, I was little. We're talking when I was little.
God.
You know what I mean?
She's gonna be one of these people who are gonna make you feel old.
Robin Williams.
When he passed away,
I actually cried.
I felt like I lost an
I cried over this. The first celebrity I've ever cried over it. I paused Netflix and I must have been. My boyfriend said I sat in silence for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
It's the weirdest thing because
my whole life,
I
wanted to meet Robin Williams. My letter to Santa when I was 3, my mom had to type it because I couldn't write yet. And it was to meet Robin Williams.
Yeah.
That's how...
He was a part of everyone's life.
I know.
Have you ever, Bob Campbell?
Of course.
Have you ever heard his, he was on the Nerdist podcast?
Recently?
Not recently, but I highly recommend it. It was it was on the anniversary of Robin's death.
Oh, okay.
And I had no idea, but him and Robin were super close friends.
Okay, I didn't know that.
They would vacation together and shit.
Nice, of course.
And if you remember, Robin Williams in the Snickers commercial, where he was a football coach.
Oh yeah.
Snickers turned back.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Bobcat was at the end. It's because Robin was I'm not going to do your Snickers commercial unless you hire my buddy Bobcat.
Oh, he's a good friend.
It was a really great kind of I miss my friend kind of conversation.
I'm so upset.
So great.
I'm still just as upset as when it happened. It was August. Was it 2 years ago now?
I think it's 2 maybe.
It's already been
Research?
2 years? Yeah, Google that, bitch.
So the best thing about Fish is you ask random questions and it feels
well, what else is he gonna do?
He's got, this is even when he's
I'm pretty sure he tunes you out.
No, not really.
It's been...
Who's Nancy?
Nancy is my
Who's
girl.
Nancy?
Nancy's my girl. Don't be reading my text messages over
here. Two notifications. Facebook and Nancy.
Jesus.
I don't have my phone at the table.
Right. Well, I was just checking the time.
Old school.
I'm a social media expert. It says so on my resume.
Does it really?
Yes.
So you have more followers than I do.
So,
it's right. You're right, though. Social. I know every algorithm hashtag nonsense Instagram in the world.
Oh, really?
Well, that is a thing. A social media expert, I think, is a real thing. I don't know if you are one. But
well, my job, I literally maintain the social media for the company.
How is it?
It has grown 6 times since I've been there. No one's been there since February.
6 times.
6 times the number of followers.
Oh, okay, times 6. I thought you were like, we have got a new follower.
We have 6 followers.
Wow.
6 times.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
That's all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm being nice.
I'm not the best.
I'm trying.
Social media expert.
There's growth here.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really hard.
I felt like
it was really hard.
I used love, but there might have been a little bit of like right there.
A little bit. I used to, when I studied at Improv Boston for like a year, I remember like halfway through, I was in like level 2, because I've done improv before, and they let me like kind of skip one, and my teacher pulled me aside like 2 months in, and he's like, "You can't be negative today." He's like, "You cannot." He's like, "You cannot be a mean, negative person today at all."
Don't be a bitch today.
He's like, none of your characters can be negative, and I was like, "Oh,
wow." I feel like that's so be nice.
I mean, I did it.
Be nice.
No, I can't. It's just I feel so weird. It's so terrible.
I used to work with this girl, and like we had this kind of like, I would ridicule you, you ridicule me. And no. And there was one day where I said something nice, and she got like offended. So like for the rest of the day,
because they don't believe you.
So for the rest of the day, I'm like, I really appreciate all the work you've done. And she got super pissed to the point where she's like, if you are nice to me one more time, I'm not gonna speak to you again.
I'm not that bad.
Yeah. But it's like this.
No, I might be.
It's almost like this. If you're not being sarcastic, I don't feel like you like me. Kind of thing.
I have to when I'm being like if I went on a date. This actually happened.
No, date stories. Sorry, go ahead. No, date stories are good.
Like the date, like we're both improv-y, so like we were being kind of rude in a funny way. And he was like, all right, now let's not be rude. And it was so silent.
So
I was like, like your shirt.
So it's too thin.
Shirt's nice. It was like the most excruciating 2 minutes. And I was like, can we go back to being mean now?
Yeah. See,
wait.
No, my dates weren't even like that. It was more like just.
How many dates
did you have? Out of here.
You mean your date?
Dates. The one-on-one.
Dates. With Nancy? So who's Nancy?
Nancy, my girlfriend.
Oh, you didn't say girlfriend earlier. You said you're involved. Those are two different things.
She's my girl. We've been together.
I want Nancy to know that you said you were just both involved.
Is there a difference?
Yes, there's a difference. Men are so stupid. Fish, do you know what I'm saying?
Be stupid with me because I don't know the difference.
Okay, so if I'm like...
No, explain to our listeners. What's the difference between involved and girlfriend?
God, I bet all the girls know. So if you
I'm sure they're screaming. I'm sure the one girl who listens to our podcast is screaming at us.
Okay, when I say, oh, are you taken? And you go, I'm involved, that means you're casually seeing somebody. If I say, are you taken? You say, oh, yeah, I have a girlfriend, her name's Nancy. You don't see the difference there.
Well, when you say it like that.
I'm involved. Like, what does that mean? And you said it in that way, too.
No, I just said it anyway.
Like, you weren't like, I don't know, I feel like when you said involved, you were light, so I just assumed you were. You seemed very unsure about your involvement.
No.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but I don't care.
I'm sure you already did.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
No.
Sorry, Nancy.
Yeah.
I don't think I know one Nancy that isn't, like, at church and over 50. Nancy. I'm sure she's lovely.
It's harsh.
She used to go to church.
Wait. During the podcast, I'm like, oh, this would be great. I'll have some self-esteem left.
I'm having the best time.
I look real nice.
Quietly.
Someone told me that when I started.
I'm gonna go cry.
I think it was an old Jewish lady actually at the New York show, and she said something to the point. She's like, "You come out, and you look so sweet, but you're such a bitch." And I was like,
"No, I get it. No, I get what she's saying. No, I see it. Yeah." So no, I do not see involved in girlfriend.
Okay.
I've never ever.
Maybe it's just old people say involved and young people say girlfriend.
So not just involved, which is probably accurate in comparison. Mm-hmm. But to be honest with you, I have given this literally 30 seconds of thought to brought up.
It's like 30 seconds.
Seconds.
I mean, vernacular changes, so maybe that's why I took that as a different. You literally were like, "Oh, I'm involved," and you looked away. Like, what is that?
Did I look away?
Yeah, I
don't know why I'm looking at him.
In my brain. Yeah. So, like, that's not very, definite response.
I feel like you need, like, a shave smile. You have to, like, do some serious psychotherapy here. No, I am happily involved with my girlfriend.
Better.
But see, I used both terms.
Yeah, you did.
So
it was very smooth. No, that was a complete sentence. I did that. I'm involved.
No, I don't know. I didn't see it that way.
And you kind of like were awkward about it.
But see, the problem is, like, I'm a guy, so I think about things for about 4 seconds.
That's generous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
so how did this become about me?
I tend to do that.
God damn it.
Just feed in the fire.
So, if our listeners haven't tuned out or feel sorry for me or something,
Right.
Where could they see you perform?
It's kind of random. I'm all over New England. I'm usually, like, if I had one place that I go to repetitively, it would be the Rhode Island Comedy Connection in the Province. Because that's my home.
Is there like a website where they can see you?
If I have a show, I post it on Facebook or on my Instagram.
Okay.
So there's that.
So your Instagram seems to be like your primary.
Yes, it definitely is.
And you have like.
I have almost 22,000 pounds. That's not a word. Which,
not a word. And you make fun of me when I say.
I was gonna say 22,000, but I don't know. Which is like, I don't think it's a lot because the people I follow are like 1 million. But then
20,000 is a lot.
Right, but then like people like that recognize me at the mall or whatever make me feel like I'm like some sort of celebrity.
It's so weird.
People take pictures of me probably weekly. Someone will come up to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like,
I've had one since we started the podcast. Like one person who's like, "You got the podcast," and I was like, "Oh my god, really?"
That never happens to podcasters. Can we just be?
Well, first of all, it happened to me
One time.
We only had like 7 episodes.
It feels bizarre, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's. I've had that experience more than once.
Oh, it was once, and now it's one.
No. It was once with the podcast. But like I've had like art-wise and
oh, that's cool. Same feeling.
Yeah, but it's so weird.
It's bizarre because I'm like oddly humble. I'm not about my Instagram. Yes,
I literally had one where I was like, "Who do they think I was?" And people were like, "What if they thought they were you?" And I'm like, "That's just weird. Like, why would I just automatically assume they thought it was someone else."
It must be a mistake because you look like all the celebrities.
Comic shop. Yeah. I remember when our listeners liked me. Our listener. Well, my son listens to this. He likes me.
Oh, he heard this whole thing?
Well, not yet. He will.
Oh. What were we saying? We're so
it
bored.
was something. Andy, you're a terrible person.
Yeah. It sounds alright. Oh, Instagram.
Instagram. Yes, you have a huge Instagram following.
Yes.
It's super aggressive.
I mean, it's not huge. See, I'm so humble about it, but it is kind of cool.
So,
it is kind of cool.
Name me something in your life that you've experienced that is 22,000 or something. That's huge.
That's true.
That's huge.
That way. And I don't
like if you had 22,000.
I've heard every one of those. Like I don't use apps that get you followers.
Yeah.
I don't use any of that crap. Like I literally know all the algorithms of Instagram, and I literally go through and find people and like all their shit. And then they come to your page. I've gotten every one of those people myself.
You've heard it,
yeah. So
So how long have you been on Instagram? Like how long?
Maybe
did it take?
3 years.
3 years.
Because at first I didn't really. Maybe 2 years of actually paying attention.
Did you feel it was kind of like a snowball effect? Like you kind of like reached a point
It goes up and down, but yeah.
Yeah, like you reached a point where it kind of leaned in.
Yeah, probably 2 years ago I only had 3,000.
And then it kind of snowballed.
Right, like I could get 100 new followers every day, or maybe just 100 a week. It kind of fluctuates, but it's always going up. It's never going down.
Yeah. Now do you use specific hashtags?
My personal hashtag is big arm no harm.
Big arm no harm.
Yep, that's my hashtag.
Hey,
but
that's an interesting one.
I have a list of 30 hashtags I use that are popular for the plus community.
Okay.
That are I just found out about.
Yeah.
But mine is big arm no harm.
Big arm no harm.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of that.
Big arm no harm.
Yeah.
That's it. Bumper sticker on my car.
I feel like it needs to be a t-shirt.
I actually just sold a girl a t-shirt. She asked for one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I made it the crop top though because I wanted to make her really show.
So you are the second model that we've used to.
I mean, whatever.
But you're the second model that we've had that we brought up to the podcast.
Okay.
And the last one we were talking about modeling gigs, and that can be a very sketchy.
Mm-hmm. Have rules.
Yes. Like
you have to.
It buys young models like.
Okay.
Now, first of all,
okay. If you're new, don't do nudes. Period. If you're new, don't do nudes. Nobody is asking you to do nudes.
You don't know that. You don't know me.
I would do it like for big arm, no harm.
Yeah. Wait, I'm big arm, no harm?
Well, I didn't say muscle arm, no harm. I said big
fair
arm.
enough. All right. I'll buy a t-shirt. I want a t-shirt.
Crop top.
No.
Do nudes. Don't do nudes if you're new. And if you are doing nudes, at least get $100 an hour. I mean, people will do like I saw an ad like literally the other day where it's like it's a small part in like a short film, and they're like, it's 1 day of shooting, you're nude the whole time with simulated sex, and it was like $80 for the day, and I'm like, no. Generally, a nude model gets $100 an hour. Generally. And if you are going to work with somebody new, you need to coffee first. I am fortunate enough where I read people very well.
Yeah.
If I go to coffee with you, I know if you're going to murder me or not. I'm going to tell you right now. I can just tell if you're creepy. It's obvious to me.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not obvious to everybody.
No, I've heard some really bad stories.
Every photographer I've worked with, I've known for a while before I worked with them.
Yeah. The one thing that I've noticed, and you're an exception to this, but I feel like it's a little different because you came with references. Especially when we started our life run, every model showed up with
someone else.
Oh, this is just my friend who wanted to come draw. I'm like, dude, bring a friend. Bring a friend. And not just for you, but for me.
There's
because by
where...
all means bring a friend, because if something goes sketchy,
Right.
more people are better.
On Model Mayhem, Model Mayhem can be creepy, but that's where I started. Model Mayhem, there are a lot of castings where it's a guy who wants nude shoots. He's like, don't bring your friends. I don't want you to bring your boyfriend.
No.
Bring shoot.
Bring
like,
people.
Do not shoot with this man. Like, that's not a real thing.
No. That is super sketchy.
He was like, oh, he's going to ruin the vibe of your photo. I'm like, no, that's no. Maybe not.
Identify the body.
Maybe not work with that guy.
No. And we've had one or two that showed up without a friend. And I'm like, why don't they have?
I didn't even think twice, but that's because I know about it.
You knew people.
If it sounds too good to be true, it's not true. I feel like Judge Judy. If it doesn't make sense, it's a lie.
Yeah. So we don't really have it too much anymore because we kind of use the same cool models. And I feel like the new ones we get come with.
Have you used a plus size model before?
You are our first.
You're kidding!
And our people were so excited.
I feel like they would have liked anybody that was the first plus model. Is that me being humble again? I can be humble sometimes.
Here's the thing, is I don't feel that's true. And secondly, maybe?
right though, but I'm glad it was me.
They were very excited at plus size model. They came after me for curves. But like I said, I feel like the male model, it's just not super easy to come by.
A male plus model?
No. Male models or plus models aren't as easy as you think to come by.
You're right, because we were told that we can't do that. For eons and eons. And even the ones that do.
The whole time today, I kept hearing, she's really good. Can you book her again? She's really good.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I'm like, son of a bitch, I feel like she's going to make fun of me in an hour.
You'll be back for more. And most of the models I do know aren't even competent.
Yeah.
Like, they maybe, I'll put a bunch of makeup on an outfit and I'll go do a photo shoot, but to sit here and be drawn in front of people,
the thing I look for, when I am judging a model that we put, especially the model, is, do you stand still?
Well, yeah.
Because that is my only...
I honestly didn't know if I was going to do it.
That's my only guideline. I want you to stand still. And most people are like, I can model. I'm like, no, you can't.
So do people really fidget? I mean, I don't think I did.
No, you were excellent.
Okay, because I've never done that before.
You were excellent.
It was easier than I thought it was going to be.
And before you insulted me, I even said that we would have you back again.
I mean,
that's true now.
My day goes on.
But, I'm sure you'll go on without me. But,
remember when you told me a girl and somehow fell off a chair? I know how it happened.
Maybe that did happen.
I know. Sorry. I know how that happened. Because, at first you're like, how does that happen? But, when you're in a weird spot, when I was on my knee and just my foot, after 4 minutes and you're zoned out, you're like, am I balancing still? There's a weird moment where I'm like, I'm going to fall off the stage. That did happen. So it can
I'm
happen.
sure every model has that.
It's like a vertigo, just a second,
I'm
just a smidge.
sure every model has that. She was a little twitched at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Well, like me mentally, I'm like, maybe I should lean back a little bit.
the drawing thing? This is a podcast. Say hi, Carl. We're recording.
Whoa!
Take your goddamn plates out front.
So for our listeners, this is Carl, the owner of New World Tavern. Yeah, we're recording. Say hi, Carl.
All right.
Do we need to go? Are we in your way?
Nice meeting you.
Bye, Carl.
He's lovely.
He's much louder than Sheila was.
He was a lot louder.
lovely.
How are we doing on time?
Am I out of here yet?
Like 10:15.
Get
No,
me out
like
of
About 50 minutes?
50 minutes? All
I
right.
thought
Yeah.
you meant 50 more minutes.
No,
I was
no.
like,
Yes, keep
Christ.
going. Come on.
So,
I'm glad I did well, because I've
Yeah.
never done this.
Oh, yeah,
before.
yeah.
you were great. And so we're kind of, yes, we should be wrapping up since Carl came back here and threw us out, more or less.
Yeah.
It is less than polite way.
Yeah.
So the few things that we ask our guests, and I wish I could think of something really awful to ask because it's me the entire time.
You asked a comedian on your show. I mean,
You know, in the beginning I was like, I really want a comedian. Now I'm like, I really am stupid.
we do that.
So, is there something that you are listening to, watching, reading that you would recommend for our listeners?
Just because it's the most recent.
Yeah.
I mean, there's billions of things I watch and read. But just literally recently, yesterday, I watched Dana Carvey's new special.
Goodness.
He has a new special on Netflix, and
Oh, really?
I absolutely loved
What's
it.
it called?
It's
Wow. That's
male, white male, and 60.
Okay.
One of the, I might get the order wrong,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm obviously obsessed with Wayne's World. I have it tattooed on my hand, but
Oh, you do?
I do.
Party on Wayne.
And my
What is
sister
that?
had a scar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, some of it. There was maybe one moment where I'm like, okay. But I loved every second of it, and he looks like he's 40 still, which I don't know how he's doing.
Yeah.
But I think everybody should check that out because it's kind of tough when people ask comedians what comedians they like because our judgment is so much worse than a normal person watching comedy.
Yeah.
Like, so for me to find it entertaining is, I think, pretty good because like things that a crowd laughs at. Comedians might be like 10 other people say that all the time, and it's a street joke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought he was very clever, and I thought he had a really, really good stuff. And I like
Check it
clever,
out. I didn't know
like
you
clever
did. Yeah.
comedians. Yeah.
So we always ask that, and then I feel like this is kind of like falling by the wayside because we always spend a lot of time talking about what influences people. But is there something that maybe you wouldn't have expected to influence you that has influenced you either in modeling or comedy?
That's odd.
Maybe something that's a little kind of out of left.
Unexpected.
Yeah, kind of that unexpected, like, oh, this, I don't know.
That's hard. That's hard for me to answer.
I feel like talking now.
No, that's cool. No, it's
because I'm not going to do that. So, fuck you.
that's a hard question because my whole life I really didn't have too many people to look up to. And so, like that lame meme that says "Be your own hero," like that's not lame to me. So, like, if there was never someone who was just like me. Like, oh, she's like I'm like her and I can be her. Nobody looked like me. No comedian looked like me.
But
No actor
it doesn't have to be a her. It could be a...
or him.
Yeah.
There was no like I'm that guy. He's just like me. I didn't have that. So, like in my own mind, maybe I'm like I should be the person that's missing for other people to look up to.
Okay.
Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. I
Could be
feel like
a
I'm in a therapy session.
Listen to her. She's her own.
Yeah,
influence. Wow.
I know that sounds absolutely awful, but ever since I was little, people would be like, "Who do you look up to?" And I'd be like,
Just myself. Just
Me,
me.
pretty much
I'm
me.
the greatest thing that God has ever created.
"Yep, one day,
Get out of my way!
one day you'll all see."
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hard question for me. Maybe when I come back, I'll have a new influence.
You are so not coming back. You've just been fucking mean to me.
I'm coming back.
the entire time.
Fish knows I'm
Yeah,
coming
I'm coming back. I'm just coming back and I'll make my own.
Come back.
Alright. Well, thank you for being on our podcast.
It was great.
Thank you for ridiculing me.
I haven't berated someone in a
I'm
while.
gonna go home and cry.
This is
in a
great.
fetal position.
My day job that surrounds me with women.
I'm
This
so
is great.
happy that my sorrow makes you happy.
Why are you so lonely?
So for our listeners, the first Monday of every month, you can find us at the New World Tavern doing our life drawing, and this one will never be back.
I'll do that.
And we do our paint nights twice a month at Lucioso's
That's right.
and the World Tavern. You can find out information at Inebri-art.com. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at Inebri-art. Twitter. We don't have 22,000 Instagram followers.
My Instagram is Griminator, by the way.
Griminator?
I don't think I even said that.
Are there any other places people can follow you online?
I'm on everything. Facebook, Twitter, the one thing that isn't Griminator is Snapchat. So whatever guy has Griminator on Snapchat gets a lot of new pics. Like, a lot.
Poor guy.
Yeah, so whoever that guy is might want to give you that name.
Yeah, alright. So any dick pics go to Griminator. And any questions, comments, you can send to Inebri-art@yahoo.com. Please rate us and comment on Inebri-art.
So good there's a T in rate.
Rate.
Please rate us.
Rate us on
iTunes.
Oh my God.
You threw me. And comment and thank you for listening.
Fabulous.
And
Gold star.
thank you for being.
Thank you. Clear eyes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. Thanks again for listening.